Mostly sunny for your Monday. It's going to be hot. Temperatures around 92, 93. And it looks like a southwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mostly clear, mild overnight, near 70. A chance of a shower or thunderstorm Tuesday, a better chance Wednesday. Partly sunny each day. It'll be around 92, 93 Tuesday, and upper 80s to low 90s Wednesday. Your life, your music. We're KLEK 102.5 FM.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. At least 25 Palestinians have been shot dead by Israeli troops in Gaza, according to Palestinian officials. Indian MP Shashi Tharoor has been charged with aiding his wife's suicide in 2014. A family of 5 on 2 motorbikes carried out a suicide bombing at a police headquarters in the Indonesian city of Surabaya, according to police. And Russia's World Cup starts in exactly a month. President Putin says preparations are on target.
It's 9:01.
Community Conversations is brought to you by Arkansas Early Learning, offering no-cost childcare in Jonesboro and Northeast Arkansas. Applications at arearlylearning.org.
Arkansas Early Learning is a nonprofit organization.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
KLEK 102.5 FM, good morning to you on your Monday. It's May 14, 2018. This is Community Conversations. Hato Wonder is flying solo in the studio, but I'm not totally alone. I've got Quabila on the line, and joining us in the studio today is Mrs. Carolyn Lewis. Mrs. Lewis is with Mid-South Health Systems, and I believe she is going to talk to us today, about the foster care system. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. Quabila, are you there?
Yes, good morning.
All right, let's go ahead and kick it off.
All right, so good morning, Ms. Lewis.
Good morning.
So since this is your first time there, can you please just give the listeners and viewers a little background about yourself and how long you've been working with Mid-South Health Systems?
Sure. I am the Therapeutic Foster Care Director with Mid-South Health Systems. I have been there 21 years. I started Mid-South Health System as a therapist for this Therapeutic Foster Care program, and a few years later became the director of the program.
I know. During our phone conversation, you mentioned how there is an increased need for foster care homes. Can you tell us more about that and what that involves?
Sure. There are so many children coming into the foster care system that there is not nearly enough homes. So you end up having children that are placed in group homes and shelters, children that could be in a foster home, but with there not being enough homes, so we have to constantly talk about the need for foster homes for these children. Our program with Mid-South Health System is our therapeutic foster care program. As a director and my staff, we recruit homes and train those homes to be licensed therapeutic foster care homes with our program.
Okay. Now, tell us some of the requirements that are necessary to meet before a home can be considered.
Well, in order for a home to be opened as a therapeutic foster care home, I do a pre-interview screening up front where I go out and meet the family, sit down, discuss the program with them, answer any questions that they may have, and then they get an official invite to start the training. The training is a 30-hour pre-service training. They also are trained in CPR, first aid, and aggressive management. After they complete the 30 hours of training, then I do a home study of the home that takes 3 separate visits. During the process of the home study, I'm gathering all of the record checks that's required for them to be TFC parents. Once I complete the home study, all the record checks are in, Then I submit all of that information to Little Rock, and I am given a provider number for that family, and then they are officially opened as a therapeutic foster care home.
All right, so I'm going to back up a little bit and talk about what exactly is their therapeutic foster care versus traditional foster care, or is there any difference?
Oh, absolutely, there's a big difference. Well, with traditional foster care was started to place children in homes that were taken away from biological families for whatever reason, whatever that reason was. With therapeutic foster care, it is more of a clinical intervention, where traditional foster care mainly focuses on stability and placement and nurturing and care. Well, with therapeutic foster care, now we focus on all of that as well, but our main focus with therapeutic foster care is treatment. We want the children to be involved in weekly therapy, because you're talking about trauma. Any child that's taken away from family will experience trauma. And so that's the purpose and the intent of therapeutic foster care, is to get them in a specialized, trained foster homes, because we do our own training. And our program is specifically for children that are experiencing more significant emotional, behavioral, and social needs. So children that, for whatever reason, are not able to be maintained in a traditional foster home, then we want those children referred to our therapeutic foster care program.
Okay. So you talked about, doing home studies. Does the home have to have two parents?
The home does not have to have two parents. It can be a single parent. The only kind of requirement with that is that that single parent must have work that allows them flexibility, because once we place a child in your home, you are required to take care of the needs of that child. So if the school calls, then that child is your child. Then you have to have something that allows flexibility, where you'll be able to go to conferences at the school. The children come to weekly therapy. There are a lot of doctor's appointments when they first come into your home. So yes, you can work, but just they have to keep in mind that they need something that allows for that type of flexibility.
Okay, so this probably wouldn't be recommended for someone who lives a fairly busy lifestyle, travels out of town to work on a regular basis.
Probably not. If they're out of town and they travel a lot, this is probably not going to work for them. But we also train parents to be respite parents. That means that you're saying that I'm willing to open my heart and my home for a child. I just don't want a placement right now, but I'm willing on a weekend. If one of the other parents need a break, I'm willing to provide respite care. But the training, the process, getting the home open is still the same. And so we could use a lot more respite parents that would be willing to give the parents that have a placement a break.
Okay. What about, once the family is approved, I know there's some concern about pop-up visits and, the family now being restricted on, say, summer activities or, traveling, say a funeral came up out of town, things of that nature. So tell us more about how that would work.
Here's the deal. When we place a child in your home, that child goes anywhere the family goes, whether it's vacationing out of town or on a weekend they need to go away. That child is placed in your home. The only thing is that the parents just have to give us an idea of where they're going and where they're going to be staying, just so that I can stay informed about where the child is. But there is no restrictions to that at all. We want you to enjoy that child, and we want that child to be with you on vacation. It's kind of unfair to leave them, really. So there's not really a whole lot of restrictions on that. It's just that being aware of where the child is.
All right. Now, what about families to say, first of all, let me back up again. What counties do you serve?
Well, our catchment area for opening homes, I open homes in Area 8. So that's the 7 counties that's in Area 8. But with Mid-South Health Systems, we also have a sister program. So we have 2 TFC programs. The other one is in the West Memphis area. So the West Memphis area TFC program opened homes down in that area, which would be Lee, Randolph, Lee, Phillip, Monroe, all those southern areas down there. So I open homes in Area 8.
Okay. And for those who may not be familiar, can you give us some idea of those counties?
Of the counties?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So there would be Craighead, Lawrence, Randolph, Greene, Clay, Poinsett.
Okay.
Yes.
So more in the northeastern area of Arkansas.
Yes. So I have homes in Mississippi County, which would be Blauville and Osceola. I have homes in Pocahontas, Walnut Ridge, Ravenden, Truman, Jonesboro. I also have homes in Marion and West Memphis.
Okay. Now, once a child... Did you have a question again?
Oh, no, I would just remind everyone we are speaking with Mrs. Carolyn Lewis of Mid-South Health Systems. And, of course, we got a Facebook shout-out. Shout-out to Christy Mathis Conway. Appreciate you for checking in on our live feed. Quabila's on the phone, so we're not able to take phone calls for this segment. But if you are watching on our Facebook live feed, you can leave your questions or your comments for Mrs. Lewis.
All right, so I want to ask, once a child has been placed in a home for therapeutic foster care, what, I guess, I don't want to say what happens to their birth parents or, their biological parents. Because of the process, are they still allowed any contact with their biological parents?
Okay, so when a child is placed into foster care, they come in with the goal of reunification, which is to try to get them reunified with their birth family, or the goal may be adoption, or the goal could be independent living. So if a child's goal is reunification, if I take a child into my therapeutic foster care program and that child's goal is reunification, so that means that the department is working along with Mid-South to try to get that child reunified back with that birth family. And so that means that the child will be having visits, maybe weekly, maybe monthly, that is determined by the department, with the birth family. If the goal is adoption, then Mid-South and the adoption specialist for that child work in conjunction with each other, trying to find an appropriate adoptive home for that child. So to answer your question, if the goal is reunification, yes, the child will be having visits with the birth family.
Okay. When a child is placed in a foster home, and adoption is an open option, do you seek families that would consider, I know I don't want this to sound bad, but bottom line, do you seek families that are open for adoption, and those that are not, do you kind of put them on a waiting list type deal?
Well, this is what we have experienced. The older a child ages in the foster care system, the harder it is to get that child adopted. But we have a lot of families that are coming forth and that are wanting to adopt. We don't have nearly enough because we have a lot of children still waiting for a forever home. And those children, with therapeutic foster care, we don't take babies or infants and toddlers into our program because we have to provide them therapy. So with our program, I take children from the ages of 5 up until 18. So when a adoptive family is identified for a child that's in the therapeutic foster care program, then we bring that adoptive family into therapy with the child. My foster parents are also involved in the therapy with the child. And we work to try to get children adopted as quickly as possible.
Okay, that's good. Now, when you're looking at a family or a family has expressed interest, do you also look at if they have children, if their children have behavioral issues, that could influence the foster child.
Absolutely. So that is the purpose of when I'm doing a home study. When I'm looking to open a home, if there are biological children in the home that are 8 and above, then I do an interview with those biological children. Now, keep in mind that I don't let that be the deciding factor whether I'm going to open that home, but I also like to sit and talk with biological children so that they can have an idea of what their parents are getting ready to do. You know, it is my hope that parents will have already talked to their children. But, and then when there are older children, like when the parents go through the 30 hours of pre-service training, then if there are older children in the home, then I invite those older children to be part of that pre-service training as well.
Okay.
And so the purpose of the home study is to kind of meet with the parents, meet with the children, and just to see if your biological child is experiencing some severe behavioral issues, then my main focusing is for you to really take care of your own child and maybe put off being a therapeutic foster care parent until later.
Okay.
Because if your child is having some issues, it's no point in bringing in another emotionally disturbed child in the mix of all of that. It's not going to work. So, you know, I tell parents, take care of your own children first. Keep this in the back burner and come back with me later, and you know we can revisit this, because that's the last thing I want to do is to put a therapeutic child in a home where that parent is already having some issues with their own biological children.
And once again, we're speaking with Mrs. Carolyn Lewis of Mid-South Health Systems on KLK 102.5 FM.
All right. So, what about notice families that may have some type of, I don't want to say criminal record, but they have a record, period. It could be something minor. Do those things come into play?
Yes. When we submit record checks on any family, if there is anything on that record check and when it comes back, if it's something that happened years ago, it could still show up when the state run the FBI record check. So what I will do if that happens, I will bring those families in and just say, look, I've gotten the record check back. This is what's on here. And there may be a case where they may request to go before the review board and to try to get that expunged off of their record.
And we have a Facebook comment from Christy Mathis Conway, who says, we need more homes. If you are looking to help save a life, please consider being a foster parent. Mrs. Carolyn and her staff is awesome and will offer all the support and supportive services you need. Well, we thank you, Mrs. Conway, for checking in on our Facebook Live feed.
All right. So obviously there are a lot of people that know you and the work that you do within the community, and they can speak very highly of you. So this will be a great program for someone to get involved in if they are considering becoming a foster parent.
Absolutely, because with therapeutic foster care, we really focus on our parents. They are not going to get a child in their home and just kind of be left alone and not get any support. And one of the biggest differences between traditional foster care and therapeutic foster care is the level of support that we provide for our parents.
Okay.
We have a case manager that comes into the home every week that will sit with the parents and the child to help work with behavior issues. The children come to therapy every week. We have our doctors on site at each of our clinics that prescribe the children their meds, so they always have access to be able to talk freely with our doctor. And we have monthly parent meetings where we give our parents an additional 24 hours of continuing ed training. And during those parent meetings is where we really try to focus on what behaviors the children are presenting with. And we focus our training around those behaviors. So our parents are very well supported. And I think, I have some parents that's been doing therapeutic foster care 25 plus years. And I don't think anyone would just stay in something that they didn't enjoy or felt supported. Because, I always tell my parents, you are the change, you're the treatment change. And we highly value our parents, and we like to keep them around. We offer them respite as an additional service. So if they're feeling a little burnt out, I'm going to know that because we're in our homes. We do unannounced visits. We have an open door policy when our parents come into the clinic to bring their children. They come in and talk with me. So that level of support is so valuable that we're able to provide because the case managers have a smaller caseload. Therefore, they're able to go to school meetings with the parents. They're able to go to IEP conferences. They're able to assist them at court. So the parents are not just left out there alone without having the support. And I think that is what has helped us to retain our parents, is that level of support that we can provide for them.
Okay. All right, so I know should be getting close to our break.
We got 90 seconds.
Okay. Well, I do want to talk about this may have to carry over. You said that therapeutic foster care training is 30 hours. I would like you to get a little more into it so people can know what to expect. I mean, how are the 30 hours spread out?
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's say that for the other side of the break because we're down to the final 60 seconds. We do have another Facebook shout out, and it's from Shamal Carter. And Shamal says, I love this program. I've worked with Mrs. Lewis for a while, and she is great at what she does. Well, Shamal, we definitely appreciate you for checking in on our live feed. We're going to go ahead and get ready to go to break, but when we come back on the other side, we will have more with Mrs. Carolyn Lewis from Mid-South Health Systems. Don't go anywhere. This is Kate, Millie Kate, on 2.5 FM.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
Do you stand strong when faced with adversity? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. Everybody experiences adversity at some point, and I know a man who has faced it head on. His name is Tony Nathan. Tony lived through some tough times in the early 70s when segregation and discrimination were rampant in Birmingham, Alabama. The movie Woodlawn, which is now on DVD, tells Tony's story, a story of strength and reconciliation. In the movie, Tony teaches three things. First, stand up. Stand up for what you believe. Second, stand out. Be proud of who you are and don't be afraid to shine. Third, stand firm. So stand strong when faced with adversity and remember your family first.
Want to connect with Mark on Facebook? You can at facebook.com/Mark Merrill.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
Family Minute is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a nonprofit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
KLEK thanks CJ Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated for helping people through hard times in life such as depression, family issues, stress, abuse, and more. They offer counseling and therapy for all ages, individuals, families, and groups. They are located at 1217 Stone Street. Phone number 1-866-972-1268 or online at lscihelp.com.
The McDaniel Law Firm, 400 South Main Street in Jonesboro, is a firm believer in justice and equality for the minority community. The McDaniel Law Firm has fought for our rights for over 44 years. The McDaniel Law Firm offers legal help for wrongful death as well as trucking and automobile accidents. Bobby and Brett McDaniel are available for a free consultation at 870-336-4747 or at www.mcdaniellawyers.com.
Hello, I'm Officer Victoria Evans. I have always had a desire to help others in need and to be an example and role model to young women by encouraging them to never give up on their dreams. My dream was to become a police officer and to serve my community. In 2016, that dream became a reality, and it is the most rewarding experience of my life. Now I want to let you know about the same opportunity. The Jonesboro Police Department will conduct testing every month for patrol officers. Applications are available online at jonesboropolice.com or at the Police Department, 1001 South Caraway Work. The Jonesboro Police Department offers a competitive salary, health, and retirement benefits, top-of-the-line training, and most importantly, the chance to make a difference in the Jonesboro community. Join me in making Jonesboro a better place. The Jonesboro Police Department is an equal opportunity employer, and women and minorities are especially encouraged to apply. More information is available at 870-935-5657.
The Epic Center, located at 1899 Hasbrook Road, County Road 333, is Jonesboro's newest venue for entertainment for the entire family. They offer an auditorium with theater-style seating for up to 1,100 guests, a large stage, professional lighting and sound, dressing rooms, concessions, and more. Available for weddings, concerts, pageants, birthday parties, showers, and more. Booking and other information is available at Epic Center Jonesboro on Facebook, epiccenterjonesboro.com, and at 870-530-5841.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
And we're back on Community Conversations on KLEK with our guest, Mrs. Carolyn Lewis, and we have Quabila on the phone. So, Quabila, if you could ask your question again from the last segment, and we'll pick back up.
All right. So, I just wanted Miss Carolyn to explain what the 30 hours of training would include so that families can have a more inside look at what to expect.
Okay. There's 30 hours of initial pre-service training. We have a program called Presley Rich Training. This is the first training that really has been rolled off the market and geared to training for therapeutic foster care parents. So during this 30 hours of training, we usually train from 10 to 3 on Saturday so that in about 6 weeks we can get this training completed. And during the process of the 30 hours of training, that is when I usually go ahead and start the home study, start gathering all the record checks, so that once the training is completed, I can immediately do the home study and I don't have parents waiting months, to have their home open.
Okay.
So the process goes very quickly because if parents will be in compliance and start gathering all the documents that's needed during the 6 weeks of training, and by the time training is over, usually about halfway training, I'll start home studies because I figure parents are committed then. I don't wait until they finish training and start the home studies because I want to have the process almost completed by the time they finish with training. And so then after the 30 hours of training and the home is open, and here's what's key. Because I like to retain parents and I want parents to do the best job that they can with the child that's placed in their home. During the home study process, that's where I ask the parents, you tell me the age, the race, the culture, the sex of the child that you feel comfortable parenting. You look at your home, look at your extended family, and you tell me the age, the race, the culture, the sex. So that way, when your home is open and I'm looking for a placement for you, I am looking at those specifics that you have given me because I found out it is not best practice to just put any child in any home. I try to do the best match up front that I can so that when I place a child in a home, the intent is for that child to remain there until the goals for that child have been met. So with therapeutic foster care, we are not a long-term placement, we're short-term treatment. I can keep a child up to 18 months in the program. I will keep a child a little longer if the child's goal is adoption and finally a family have been identified for that child and we need that family to start family therapy. So I can, do an extension and justify that extension. But normally we won't have children just staying in therapeutic foster care 3, 4, 5 years. We're not long-term treatment. We're short-term treatment so that we can get these children out of the program and we can bring other children in that are just waiting to be in a home.
Okay. Now, once a child turns 18, I heard you mention earlier about aging out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you just let them go? How does that process work?
Well, once the child turns 18, when they are 14, they start working with an independent living coordinator. So from the age of 14 to 18, that independent living coordinator will have started working with them on aging out of the system if they're not going to be adopted. So if a child is 18, have not been adopted, still in the foster care system, then they have the right to go before the judge at 18 and say, I want to be out of foster care. I've been in foster care mostly all of my life. I'm ready to age out of the system. And they have the right to do that, but the judge also going to want to know, what's your plan? Just because you're 18, we're not ready to just say you can walk out of the foster care system. Some do, but the goal is to hopefully they have a plan. Do they want to go on and further their education somewhere? And if they do that, then of course they are urged to remain in foster care so that the state can help take care of that college for them. But if they're 18 and just say, I'm ready to get out of foster care system, I'm ready to get a job, then that independent living coordinator will work with them on trying to get them set up in housing, trying to get them a job. So we want to make sure that they're just not aging out of the system and just going to have to sleep on a park bench.
Well, even after they age out of the program, if they still want help, all for the rest of their lives, are there any resources available to help them if they get in a bind or a pinch, or let's just say from the mental health standpoint, if they especially if they've had emotional issues, is there lifelong help available to them?
Of course there is. So if they're 18 and they still need help with some mental health issues, still need to work weekly with the therapy, then they're referred to outpatient to the adult side of our clinics. So up until 18, they're with our children's program. But at the age of 18, then they are referred to outpatient for the adult side. And yes, it is strongly encouraged that they continue to work with a therapist in the adult outpatient part.
Okay. So in between that 14 to 18 age bracket, are they allowed to say do some work training, work anywhere, build up their money, their finances, and so that way when they are somewhat released, they have some financial backing to support themselves?
Oh, absolutely. The whole concept is that just because a child is in foster care system, we don't want to treat them any different than any other child that's out in the community. So if a child is 15, 16 and want to work some hours after school part-time, that's encouraged. To start saving up your little bit of money, putting some money aside. These children want cell phones like everyone else do, and so encouraging them to, yes, if you're 16 and you can find a job during the summer, save that money. We want you to do that. They like to buy their own clothes because they like all the designer styles like any other child. We encourage them to do that. So yes, they can work. Foster parents have to be willing, of course, for their transportation, and I don't think you would have foster parents that wouldn't be willing to get a child to a job and go back and pick them up. So their sense of normalcy needs to remain the same as if just like any other child that's not in the foster care system.
Okay. I want to switch gears a little. I was thinking, okay, you get someone placed, you get a child placed, and the family went through the training. Everything seemed really great. However, just say 3-6 months down the line, things are not going so great. The parents are exhibiting behaviors that are not conducive to your rules and regulations. Do you immediately remove the child from their care? How does that process work?
Okay, I want to make sure I understand your question. So the parents are exhibiting behaviors or the child exhibiting behaviors?
The parent, the family that the child is placed with.
Okay.
They're either being relaxed with their care, they're not, going to the weekly meetings, or they're just mistreating the child, or whatever the case.
Okay.
Maybe they put on a good show to get the child, but...
Oh, absolutely. So that's the purpose of we do unannounced visits. We do unsupervised visits, where we will just go to our homes and just see how the children are doing. And the main thing is that having that case manager to go into the home weekly. And I tell my case managers, you are my eyes and ears. I'm not in those homes every week. You are. So if you notice a change, if you notice a child not being well taken care of, then those are things that I need to know about. And if that is the case, then I will bring my family in, sit down, talk with them, see if there's any assistance that I can offer for them. And if it's not, then of course, then we'll have to move a child, because we're not going to let any child stay or remain in any home where they are not treated fairly, where they are not well taken care of. A lot of children came out of those situations, so we are certainly not going to leave a child in a home if that's happening.
Okay. Now, has there been instances where the child reports the family that they're staying with, and they are just like, I can't stay here anymore, they're mean, or they're not doing anything for me?
Mm-hmm. So children come to therapy every week. They visit with the case manager every week. So if we have a child that's making those kind of statements, and we go out and do an investigation within the program and just kind of talk to the child and the family and do a family session, and if it's just not working, if it's not a place that a child feels that they're not growing or doesn't want to be, it's the same scenario. We won't leave a child there, because if they don't want to be there, then they just don't want to be there. And so then the process becomes, can I find another therapeutic foster care home for that child? If I can't, then, I have to give the department a 30-day request for removal, which is what I'm saying to the department, is that it's not working out for the child in this home. I don't have another home in my program to place the child in. Then you will have to start looking for other placements for the child.
Okay. I do want to ask, okay, for children who are not placed, where are they residing?
Well, children that are not in foster homes, they are either in shelters, they are in group homes, they are in congregate care, which is residential treatment facilities.
Okay.
Because, at any given moment in the state of Arkansas, we probably have over 6,000 children, and there are probably less than 500 foster homes in the state of Arkansas. So you wonder, where are all these children? And that is why traditional foster homes, one family may have 4 or 5 children in that home. It's just because there is no placement for these children. And then, when the department have to constantly bring children into care every day or every week, there is not enough homes for children. So I like to say to families, can you consider opening your heart and opening your home, at the same time earn some money to take care of a child in need? If you have the capacity in your home, if you have the space, if you have a spouse that's willing to help you with this, then I ask parents to consider it, because the need is tremendous for children that are coming into the foster care system, and for all those children that are just lingering in shelters and group homes and congregate care that really could be in a family. And it's what most of these children want. They want to be in a family. But when there's no place to put them, you have children that are just, that's where they are.
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty sad. Over 6,000 children, and that's Arkansas alone.
Yes. Yes.
I can't even imagine what the numbers are all across the United States, and how great a need there is for more foster families to step up and, try to take some load off the state to some degree. Do you host maybe meet and greet informational meetings to get more families interested?
I do. I try to do a meet and greet at least once a quarter. I try to train new parents at least twice a year. And, I found out, I have a new training starting June the 2nd, but we do have open house, meet and greet. But, it's just so amazing that I may have 3 or 4 people that will come to that hour and a half of meet and greet.
We have a Facebook shout out. Shout out to Cora Evans Hester. Appreciate you for checking in on our Facebook live feed.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Cora. Okay, so when? You said June the 2nd will be your next?
Yes,
open house?
June the 2nd will be our next meet and greet. And that is at Mid-South Health Systems. Can I say that on air?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you just did so.
So that's at Mid-South Health Systems on June 2nd at 10 o'clock.
Okay, so we need everyone that's interested to go out, or if you know someone that's interested, encourage them to go out.
And also, if you have a flyer, if you could get that to Quabila, we'll make sure to get that on our website as well.
Absolutely.
There is a need for foster families, and these children need to be out of a system. Children deserve the right to be in a family setting. So let's help make that possible. I know the community of Jonesboro is a great community, and as well as the surrounding area. So let's try to make that possible. Those that are available, those that maybe are retired. Let me back up from saying that and ask you, Carolyn.
Mm-hmm.
Who are some of your ideal families?
Well, when you say ideal, what I found
Maybe that's the wrong word.
Well, that's okay. But families that have no more than 1 or 2 children already in the home do very well, just because the time and energy it takes to foster. Because, families have to understand you're going to bring a child into your home that you haven't parented, you didn't birth, so you have to get to know that child. And when a child have been in multiple placements, they already come in with their guards up. Because they don't know, a lot of children won't even unpack their bags because they don't know at what point, as soon as they do something wrong, they're out of there. So it takes families a while and a child to kind of relax, open up, and get to know you. So I really kind of recommend families that have no more than 1 or 2, no more than 3 biological children already in your home, because parenting a trauma child is exhausting. I'm not going to tell you that it's not, because it's exhausting, but the outcome is what you want to keep focus on. That you have helped a child in need. It's just so much their emotional issues that they are coming to the homes with. And when you looking at trauma and how it affects a child's brain and how that plays out in the behaviors that they are displaying. And when parents kind of understand trauma and how it affects a child, they're not so quick to give up, but it can be exhausting. So no more than 1 or 2 children already in your home, or families that already have older children that are outside of the home that could be of an assistance to them. Retired families that, what am I going to do now? Come foster. Open up your home and foster. And with therapeutic foster care, we only place 1 child per family. We try to keep siblings together. If I get a referral on a sibling, then I'm looking for a family that have the space and the capacity that can handle a sibling. But for therapeutic foster care, you're only going to get 1 child. I'm not going to be placing 3, 4, 5 children there with you. That's not going to happen. Do the best job you can with that 1 child.
Well, as we get about 2 minutes left in this segment, let's talk about a success story that you've had with a successful placement that led to the child becoming a successful adult and beyond.
Sure. Well, one thing about children that are placed in therapeutic foster care, if their goal is adoption, my foster parents have the first choice of adopting that child if they choose to. I have had 23 children that have been adopted by my TFC parents over the years, and that is awesome. So a success story is, I got a little boy into the program when he was 8. He is now 18, soon to graduate from high school. had it not been for that family willing to keep him, he was a failure to thrive child, one of the worst cases of child abuse that probably anyone can imagine. And he has strived in this home. And so it was in his best interest to stay there. So he's graduating soon. But another success story is I have another family that adopted 2 of the children that were placed in their home. The one is 18. This year she's graduating from high school. She has been accepted into Williams Baptist College full ride scholarship. That is phenomenal. That is phenomenal. These foster parents adopted her when she was 7, and now she's graduating high school. I guess she graduated last week. But a full ride to Williams, that's great. So we do have children that go on to become productive citizens in the community and that want to do well. We have a lot of our older ones that have already aged out of the foster care system that wasn't even adopted by their foster parents, but they still call and keep in touch with the foster parents, letting them know where they're working at, what they're doing. They've gotten married. So we have a lot of success stories with children that come out of the program.
And it's certainly great to hear that. We are speaking with Mrs. Carolyn Lewis of Mid-South Health Systems. Get ready to go to break. When we come back from break, we're going to wrap up with Mrs. Lewis. Don't go anywhere. This is Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. An astounding 7 in 10 prepaid cards are not fully disclosing their fees to consumers, according to new research from creditcards.com. The study reviewed the fees printed on the packaging of 10 widely available prepaid cards sold at big retailers, drugstores, and payday lenders. Only 3 of the 10 cards analyzed met the proposed disclosure guidelines set forth by the U.S. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Payday lenders, Ace Cash Express, and Speedy Cash were the biggest offenders in terms of not disclosing fees. In fact, their cards would offer without any fee disclosures unless specifically requested. Knowing the details for cards' fee structures can make a big difference in terms of monthly expense, the real cost of using the card. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization dedicated to uncompromising commitment to communities, service, leadership, empowerment. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
Money Matters is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a nonprofit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
Meineke of Jonesboro is now Starks Auto Service, a full-service auto repair and vehicle maintenance center, offering engine and transmission repair, brake service, tires, oil changes, and more, performed by ASE certified mechanics. The all-new Starks Auto Service, 2813 South Caraway Road in Jonesboro, 870-204-7112. Starks Auto Service, Jonesboro.com.
Teresa Beck, owner of Full Sun Gifts, 606 Southwest Drive in Jonesboro, is a proud supporter of KLEK. Full Sun Gifts offers a variety of gift ideas such as candles, fragrances, bath and body products, makeup, cosmetics, skincare, and more for birthdays, weddings, holidays, and all occasions. Details at Full Sun Gifts on Facebook and Instagram and 870-974-8480.
The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated was established on January 1st, 1977, originally serving Blytheville, Arkansas, and now serving Jonesboro, Blytheville, Osceola, Marion, and West Memphis, Arkansas. Today, the chapter continues to make an impact by focusing on Alpha's national community outreach initiatives such as My Brother's Keeper, A Voteless People is a Hopeless People, Go to High School, Go to College, Project Alpha, Boy Scouts, and the March of Dimes. The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is committed to Alpha's mission of developing leaders, promoting brotherhood and academic excellence, while providing service and advocacy to the community. More information about the Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is available at MOL Alphas on Facebook or via email at molalphas@gmail.com.
House of Details, located at 3217 Herb Street, Suite C, is a proud supporter of KLEK, offering detailing on any type of vehicle: waxing, clear coat protection, basic wash, hand wash, shampoo, interior cleaning, buffering, headlight restoration, pickup, delivery, and more. With a motto of, anything mean, we can clean. Details available via Quentin Bogard at 870-273-5187. House of Details on Facebook and houseofdetailsjonesboro.com.
Arkansas Early Learning offers child care activities and educational programs to children ages 0 to 5. That gives them a head start in life. Arkansas Early Learning is in the community at no cost. Applications at arearlylearning.org. That's arearlylearning.org, or on Facebook at Arkansas Early Learning.
Arkansas Early Learning is a nonprofit organization.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
And we're back on Community Conversations on KLEK with our guest, Mrs. Carolyn Lewis of Mid-South Health Systems. We're going to go ahead and get into our wrap up. So, Quabila.
All right. I just want to say thank you, Mrs. Carolyn, for coming to share your time and this information with the community. For those who may not have been familiar with this, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
And I really hope. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. You good.
I just said I hope that people are taking notes and are making plans to come out on June 2nd at 10 a.m. to Mid-South Health System.
Yes, just come out for more information, where I'll just be sharing some more information about the program, and if they're interested, then they will be given a package of information to take home with them.
And is there a website to where if someone can't make the event or may just want to kind of get some pre-information before the meeting that they could go to?
Well, Mid-South Health Systems website, midsouthhealthsystems.org.
Okay.
And there's a little blurb running on that web page now about therapeutic foster care, and it has contact information and a number there.
Okay. Well, good deal, good deal. Definitely glad that is out there. Any final comments, anything that you may want to touch on that we did not cover?
Well, I think we did a great job of just kind of giving an overview today of therapeutic foster care. If anyone has any more questions, feel free to call me. I will come out and sit with you if I need to do that. I'll answer questions over the phone. But just for the community to know that there is a great need, and every child deserves the right to be placed in a home and to be in their own community. So if you're ever thought about doing it, think about it some more. Consider being a therapeutic foster care program, therapeutic foster care parent, and open your home, and at the same time earn some income, because when we place a child in your home, we know that there is an additional expense involved with that, and so we want to compensate you well for that. So just contact us for more information.
All right, Quabila.
I don't have anything else really at the time. I would love to hear more success stories. I personally know a family, but I'm not going to give out their information. But
let's do that, because we got about 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes. So let's kind of end on a high note with some more success stories.
Well, the family that I know, they adopted 1, 2, 3, and the children went on to do some good things in their life. They are now parents of their own. They're living on their own. They've gotten married, here and there. So they've gone on to do some great things because they were able to get the help that they needed at an early age. Get the support and care they needed.
Right, and that is awesome. And just a shout out to whoever that family was. I just want to say thank you for opening your home and placing those children in your home and giving them that stability and that sense of family so that they can go on and be productive citizens and enjoy living.
Got another Facebook shout out. Angela D. Island just gives a thumbs up. Well, thank you, Angela, for that thumbs up.
And we just want to thank everyone who's tuned in to Community Conversations. I always say we can't do what we do without you. So it takes a village, it takes a community to support each other so that we all can continue to do the great work that we're trying to do. So I want to thank you to everyone that's listening, watching, wherever you are.
And we certainly appreciate our guest, Mrs. Lewis, for taking time out of her schedule to stop by our studio and sit and talk with us about all of the things that her program has to offer. Hopefully this has helped someone, inspired someone, blessed someone. Of course, again, the event is June 2nd at Mid-South Health System. What time does it start?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock a.m. Of course, more information is available on the website, midsouthhealthsystems.org, I believe.
Yes.
So you can definitely check that out. So we got about 3 minutes. Okay, one more success story. I know you got one.
Miss Carolyn.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. When you talk about success and when you have parents that understand the trauma approach to taking care of children, and then when you have parents that are in the therapeutic foster care program and that are willing, have put all of that work into helping a child get better and heal, and then is willing to add that child to their family, it is amazing to me. And like I said earlier, I probably have about 22, 23 of my children that have come through the program over the years to have been adopted by those TFC parents, and that is just phenomenal.
And it definitely is. And I'm sure that when you hear stories like this, it makes the whole effort worth it, to know that the work that you've done, the hours that you've put in, the stress that you've endured pays off when you see that someone who has come through your program and is now becoming a successful adult. And let me ask you this, have you ever had a instance of someone who came through the program and then turned around and became a foster parent themselves, kind of like paid it forward?
Well, I have not, because most of the children when we get them in are young. Mm-hmm. So I don't think I've had any child that's been in the program and now has become a foster parent yet.
But stay tuned, it could happen.
It could definitely happen, and I hope that it does.
And I think that definitely would be a very inspirational story, to see someone who came through and give it back. And plus, that person can offer a unique experience that a regular parent couldn't.
Absolutely.
That person could say, hey, I've been through this program. I know what you're going through. And I just think, especially as the years go by, then if this were to happen, there will be greater assets as well. So it's kind of like seeds being planted. And, of course, we hope that those seeds will bear much fruit as the years go by. Once again, June 2nd, 10 o'clock a.m. at the Mid-South Health Systems office. midsouthhealthsystems.org is the website. The Therapeutic Foster Care Program. You can check that out for more information.
And I just want to say that Mid-South Health Systems office is our office on Browns Lane in Jonesboro, because we have clinics in all of our counties. So it's at our office in Jonesboro.
All right. Kabila, 30 seconds. Any final thoughts?
No, I'm just grateful for the work that you're providing for the community. I think you're coming to share this information. So, no.
Thank you, and I appreciate you guys having me on today.
And we appreciate you for coming on. May God bless and keep each and every one of you. This is Kate, LEK, on 2.5 FM.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the